I say that.
Try being the only guy.
Like music playing.
All right, we've had a motion and a second to come out of closed session. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Now we need to have a public hearing on the, oh. Just one minute.
Is my mouse controlling yours again?
No, but it's just,
You wanna use mine? Mine's off.
yeah. Yeah, you saw it.
I saw it, I saw what you're saying.
Public hearing for the fiscal year 2023 district budget. To open the hearing, I'll need a motion to go into the hearing.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
So I can give you a brief synopsis. The budget has changed somewhat since August. We had to hire additional aides at Northside. So for the fiscal year 23, we were originally projecting our three main operating funds are ed, operations, and transportation, a surplus of $10,346. We're looking at a negative balance of $258,000 in operations and maintenance. And then for transportation, we are approaching, or we are predicting an $8,853 surplus. A couple things to consider for the board and those listening at home. Operations and maintenance, we know this is a trouble spot. Our buildings are just, we are only getting one source of income and it doesn't fulfill the needs to pay for bills, some salaries, those types of things. So that has been a trouble spot for the last couple of years. We addressed that by making a transfer, an interfund transfer. Debt service, that is a levy to need, so that money will be done by the county clerk's office. IMROP and Social Security, we levy to need for that. We alternate every year. So negative balance there isn't going to affect us because we have a healthy fund balance and our payments are relatively low. Capital projects, that's the big number you're going to see. That's $436,000. The thing to think about that is we already have the money for that. It's not coming in this fiscal year. We've received it through other means, whether it be sales tax or whether it be bonds that we've issued in the past. So yes, there's a negative balance, but we already have that money. It just doesn't balance in terms of revenue this year and expenditures this year. So it doesn't look pretty, but it's okay. And then tort is a small negative balance there. But again, we have a healthy fund balance with tort, so it is not of a huge concern. Overall, it is not a bad budget. One thing to consider, however, is this number, this 10,000, the surplus in our ed fund. I would, or 10,000, I would not count on that continuing past this year. We are still seeing a bump from ESSER funds as well as corporate personal property replacement tax due to the new tax code. We've seen a little bit of an increase in that, but I would not envision that continues for much longer after this fiscal year. Any questions? Again, please remember to the board and those listening at home, we will pass this budget tonight and then we will amend that budget at the end of the year with a much better, more accurate projection of the revenue we brought in as well as our expenditures.
Any public comments? Okay. Motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, approval of the agenda.
So the motion is that the Board of Education approves the agenda as presented.
No changes to the agenda? Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion at all? All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the previous minutes.
Motion is the Board of Education approves the minutes of the regular Board of Education meeting from August 15th, 2022. So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Consent agenda, district bills, building activity, and the personnel recommendations. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on these?
Should we read them? Read them
Should
out
we
loud?
read the hires?
All of
Yeah,
them?
read the hires.
Yeah.
Mike Anderson, assistant wrestling coach at Morrison High School. Sarah Perry, one-on-one aide at Northside Elementary. Sean Swain, fresh off boys basketball coach at Morrison High School. And Warren Williams, 7th, 8th grade boys basketball coach at Morrison Junior High. All right, all in favor?
I just wanted to ask a question. Is Mike Anderson also an assistant football coach?
That is Nathan.
Different Anderson.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was the same person. Thank you. Thanks.
Nate's
All right,
watching, he's chuckling at being a wrestling coach.
Roll call.
Lucky,
Yes.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Danhoff,
Yes.
Witt,
Yep.
Helms,
Yes.
Stevenson,
Yes.
Ridley.
Yes.
There are no public comments, but you want to make a statement?
Yeah, where is that?
That's right here.
Oh, this one. All right. No one has signed up for public comments, communication. The board would like to enter this. The Board of Education takes all questions and concerns brought to it seriously. Recently, some concerns have been brought to the attention of district employees and the Board of Education. In accordance with board policy and the state of Illinois statute, these concerns are being discussed and are under review. In the future, the Board of Education strongly recommends that all concerns be addressed such that the board can seek to understand additional details in person or with follow-up contact information.
Good news from around the district.
I just wanted to say map testing went great, and I wanted to publicly thank Dwayne Schaefer and Connie Royer for all the work they've done for map testing, especially Dwayne, just so everybody knows. All of our kindergarten students have to be entered in. They needed an email and assist number, and he spent an entire morning entering all of them one by one so we could test them right away. And then even last Thursday, we had 2 brand new kindergarten students meet or start, and the window closed for map testing on Friday. So, and it takes 24 hours for them to be put into the system. So Dwayne got on it right away on Thursday, got them in, and Saturday we were able to get them tested so we know where they are. So Dwayne, thank you for everything you've done to make that run really, really well.
We've discussed map testing, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, I just want to make sure that everyone's, sorry. I thought we did. Go ahead.
So I echo the same sentiment for Mr. Schaefer and Ms. Royer with the map testing at the high school. Things really went well, I thought, for the first run and such. And this week is homecoming week at the high school. It's Mustang's Walk of Fame, which is a nod to Hollywood. I suppose is kind of the theme. So let the fun begin.
I see it's supposed to be about 60 degrees but high on Friday too, so.
All kinds of weather.
Finance facility report. You have your sheets in your board packet. Finance and facility committee did meet. We discussed the ongoing projects. The track project, bleachers are still not here. Retaining wall is complete. Installation of the railing has been complete. Still waiting for drawings for resurfacing the track. Hopeful that the bleachers will arrive and they can be installed sometime this fall. Otherwise, they will be installed this spring. Heard from the architect today, hoping to go out for bids for Northside and Junior High HVAC project. If not this week, certainly not next week. The cost is still estimated to be in the just over the $2 million range. So we'll see what that brings. We looked at long-term other potential projects. We're putting a list together. We discussed the budget, obviously, and then I will be bringing to the board a budget book that I put together, which is a snapshot of what school finance looks, with some explanations for the board and the public as a whole. School finance is not easy to understand sometimes. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's the way we do it normally. Surprise, surprise.
Take note.
Tony, did you want to add anything?
No, I mean, add unless you have questions.
All right, old business.
Our first item on our old business is the FY '23 district budget. The motion is that the Board of Education approves the FY '23 district budget as presented.
You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, we need we've had a discussion during the previous. Any further discussion? We'll need a roll call.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Zamrock,
Yes.
Witt.
Yep.
Helms,
Yes.
Abelson,
Yes.
Lucky,
Yes.
Ridley.
Yes.
Item B is our return to learn plan. I'll do the motion and I'll explain this. The motion is the Board of Education approves the updated district return to learn plan as presented.
All right, you've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, discussion.
Because we have ESSER funds, we're required to pass a return to learn plan. This is really a very basic, it follows current guidelines, no masking or no required masking, no required testing. Quarantine is extremely limited. So this has been up in a draft form on the website since last month, but technically we need to do it.
All right, you've heard the recommendation, and we've had a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right.
Item C, draft agreement with the city of Morrison for the use of the Morrison Sports Complex. Brian Melton, Chief Melton, is serving as the current interim district administrator, so he and I have been sort of going back and forth. He has a copy of this. I drafted this based on some of the information that the city had provided us, incorporating some of the thoughts that were brought to me from the board. This is by no stretch of the imagination the final draft, so if there are other things that I left out or things you would like to see, please let me know. The difference between this and what the city has presented with us is, I think it might be more beneficial if we have a mutual agreement, because they do use our facilities as well, that we have that in writing moving forward. And Brian, Chief Melton has a copy of this and he was going to review it, and he and I will get back together and discuss any concerns you may have or they may have as well.
All right, next, the purchase of the volleyball uniforms.
The motion is the Board of Education approves the purchase of 24 volleyball uniforms for the cost of $1,700.
Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
This was already approved. We have not formally voted on it. The okay was given to me, and in the excitement of starting the new school year, it got lost in the shuffle. So we do need for the auditors a formal approval by vote.
So we will need a roll call.
Witt,
Yep.
Helms,
Yes.
Abelson,
Yes.
Lucky,
Yes.
Wilkins. Yes. Zamrock,
Yes.
Ridley.
Yes.
Okay, board election. All of you are up except for Dustin and Ryan. I don't know how Dana does this. The school board elections are very interesting. A letter will be going out tomorrow to the public, as it did 2 years ago, listing the terms and the requirements and things like that. So one thing to consider, Matt, you can now run for a full 4-year term if you want, because you were appointed to fill Gus Linky's 2-year spot, so you can go up to 4. And Aaron, I think you can run for a full term if you so wish to. As a reminder, you do need to get the 50 signatures and have those turned in by December 1st, or no, second week of December or something like that. I have it in the letter. I'll tell you here in a second.
So current board members have to get the 50 signatures? Geez, I never had to do that before.
Oh, you didn't?
No, not when you've already got on the board. No, I'm talking about myself.
Oh, sure.
So that's weird. Welcome to Illinois.
Were you appointed?
No, I ran.
She's talking about other boards.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I've been on other school boards,
Yeah.
yeah, so.
That's right. Yeah, every time.
I know. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's our job.
That's the way they want to do it.
I thought this was a 6-year term, so I went 2 years today.
Must be filed with the county clerk between December 14th and the 21st.
Okay.
So you have plenty of time to get the 50 signatures.
Okay, so is that the only two then, Aaron, that can run for 4? Can somebody run for 2?
Everyone else is running for 4.
Okay, fine.
It's a 4-year term. But because they were fulfilled someone else's, or were appointed, they
Finished out that term,
they
yeah.
can run for 4 if they want.
You don't think about it, all but 2. That's really strange.
We had 4 last time. So.
Yeah.
Okay, new business.
Homeschool driver's education, I'm putting this on your radar. We've had several homeschool students in our district approach the high school about registering for driver's education. We have never not allowed this, but given the, not large number, the increased number this year, I would feel it'd be beneficial to have a policy in place for our fees, as well as the idea that they don't bump anybody currently in our district. So I'm just putting that on your radar. I'm going to task Mr. Bielma and Mr. Bartos to come up with something, but I did want to have this, put this out there for you to think about. So.
Okay. MCUD drug testing.
For the last 12 years, maybe, we've done conducted drug testing at a high school for all extracurricular activities. The past board had intimated that they were maybe not for that. In looking at restarting this program coming out of COVID, I wanted to gauge the temperature of this board. We do it differently than what other districts do. We purchase the tests and then our nurse administers the test. Other people have the company come in and do the tests for them. There are good and bad to doing both. Obviously, having a professional outside of the district do it eliminates any sense of impropriety or any sense of favoritism or anything like that. The problem is it is quite expensive. And to save costs, we have done it in-house for the past 12 years. In looking at what other districts do, conference-wise, the majority, or I think all of the conference schools have some sort of drug testing in the future. So what I would like tonight is to gauge the temperature of the board. Is this something you wish to consider, or is this something you wish to possibly do away with? We're not going to take any action tonight, but based on your feelings, I would have a direction to go.
One thing that Scott and I talked about as we were preparing the agenda was possibility of, cost-wise, there's a way to decide the frequency, number of tests, and so on, and manage the cost that way. So there's some variables in there we'll need to discuss as a board as we go through the process.
So you're saying other schools, they use outside testers, the other districts too?
I have somewhat intimate knowledge with regards to drug testing, given my prior employment. I know that around here, drug testing in general for services such as, what the company give is becoming more and more scarce. So more and more expensive probably. So that's something that should definitely be explored, and just in general, the sheer limit that we have to allowing us to bring in a private company to do this.
So, because this is rather new to me, was this something randomly set up?
So say, a decade ago, we had students who were very outspoken about the things that they were taking, coming to school under the influence. And so to address those, the board enacted a drug testing policy for all extracurricular activities. We test, Corey, and if I'm saying this wrong, please let me know, 4 to 5 individuals a week. They're randomly chosen by lot. You have to consent to drug testing, and we pull them, and the nurse administers the test and then sends it off for verification.
And we don't choose them,
No, yeah, that's.
right? Is that right, Corey?
Correct.
They're chosen.
Yeah, it's like a lottery.
I had an
Pull a
app.
number.
I had
Yeah.
a random number generator, and that would pick it, and I had a list of kids in that number I would correspond that, and those were the kids I tested that day.
Have you thought about, I mean, I don't know if you've thought about this, have you thought about eliminating the random and just on an as-needed basis? So if you suspect somebody is using, then have them tested. I just really struggle with this kind of program, unless you have a problem. If you have a problem in your school that's been identified, I can see 10 years ago you had a problem, you identified, you did something. Well, if you don't have that same problem now, why not look at revising it?
Would it be beneficial if I were to bring more information about what other local districts are
Yeah,
doing?
we need to.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
probably
absolutely.
helpful.
We'll need to walk through this for all the board members, because this predates really
Yeah.
everybody but you and I.
So the
Yeah, I
understanding is we
remember
continue as is until we make a decision. Okay,
Yes.
that's fine. It's perfectly doable.
All right. School improvement plans.
As part of the district improvement process, and the board has approved the district improvement plan for the next 5 years. Annually, each individual building under the leadership of the principal and school improvement teams creates a school improvement plan, which is in support of the district improvement plans. Each building is included, the draft form is included in your board packet for you to look at your leisure if you are bored and need something to read. And we will formalize those at the next board meeting.
School maintenance grant.
There's another round of school maintenance grant that is available. If you remember, the last time we applied for this, it's a $50,000 matching grant. We use that money to go towards the bleachers. There's another one, and at this point, and we discussed this in the Finance Facility Committee, one of the ideas would be to replace all the interior doors at the high school. They are old, wooden, and not in good shape. It obviously wouldn't cover the total cost. The district would probably be on the hook for an additional $120,000 to complete the project. But we will possibly have bond issue coming up for the HVAC, as well as excuse me, health, life, safety funds that would be available. So it would be coming out of the ed fund and would not be hurting any educational programs.
Junior high sign.
We have that wonderful digital sign that was purchased 7 years ago. I think it was my first year superintendent. We were probably sold a bill of goods from the company that sent it to us, and we have had nothing but issues with it so far. It's sitting there and does not work. They will not come and fix it unless they have a technician coming to the area. We've called, we've threatened legal action, we've done about everything. So the question now becomes is, do we replace it? To replace it, it is, and it would be very similar to the one at the high school, which was replaced after it was hit by the skid loader during the window project in the rain in the middle of the night. So to replace that sign would be $20,228, and it would be done by Turnroth locally, who would then service it and come on site to help with any issues that we might have. Something to consider. Otherwise, we just have this wonderful sign that's sitting there with these panels that doesn't work.
Is the new one digital as well?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
And it's much better quality, and pixel ratio is much clearer.
Isn't it primarily the guts of the sign, not the,
It's not
or is it the
It's
whole
the-
sign?
The problem is that the way they built it, you can't just replace the guts. You gotta
right.
replace the LED panels. If they replace it, it's everything, the LED lights are closer together, so the
Oh,
picture
yeah,
quality
okay.
is much better, so.
Okay.
They would leave the frame and the part on the top that says Morrison Junior High School, they're just replacing the light board.
Oh, okay.
And that costs 20,000?
Silly question,
Yeah.
but,
Wow.
The
Why would-
sign at the high school, I'm sorry.
oh, I was just gonna ask why we need an LED.
Was it LED or I don't?
I mean, but like why, do we need like a computer, like informational sign? I mean,
We
do
need what-
people read it? Is-
Mr. Robinson, he did a really nice job. He put lunch
Yeah.
menus up there.
Okay.
He put other events. The board made the decision 10 years ago or 7 years ago that, I don't remember if we got a deal 2 for 1 or something like that.
It was a steal and they stole us. They got our money.
Well, they lost it for 6 months. They
Yeah,
should
it
have
was,
told me
it
that.
was on a
delivered
loading
to a
dock
different
at
school.
another
It was at a
school
loading
for
dock at a
6
different
months.
school.
We've had nothing but problems since we purchased it, and we've tried to get more back into this sign, but the garbage trucks won't jump the curb, so.
I keep
What
waiting.
driver's
Then we're buying a car.
that?
The sign at the high school, even though we didn't have to pay to replace it because the window company, that was 17,000. And the one at the junior high is a two-sided one, so, pricing wise, it's on par, so.
Again, just putting this on your radar. There's no vote on it. Mr. Robbins asked, I said, I would bring it to the board's attention because it does, he uses it very effectively. Not that the high school doesn't, but, it's nice, it looks nice. So,
Right. We do have an action item, Skyward agreement.
the motion is the Board of Education approves the agreement with IS Corp and Skyward as presented.
All right, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So Skyward is our student information system, and as with anything technological, they are upgrading it, and they are getting ready to roll out a new platform. Part of the requirement for that new platform is you're not allowed to host the information on site, you have to host it off site, and so this would be a transition to that, which is going to be required later this year anyway. And if you have any questions,
Yeah, is that cloud-based or is it a?
Yeah, it's an off-site hosting, so it's cloud-based. It offers a better layer of security, so we're not responsible if there's any data loss. It's a 2-day process. Well, it's a month and a half long process, but Skyward will be shut down for 2 days. The first full week of Christmas break.
When will that be done?
Sometime between December 26th and December 30th is what we're shooting for right now.
Over the holidays?
Yeah, it'll have to be shut down for 2 days. No one can access it during that time. But they told me 2 days, so.
Will it be any more user-friendly, like on a mobile?
No, it
No,
won't.
okay.
From the end user part, you won't notice any difference. The Skyward mobile app is terrible, and I do not recommend it to anyone, so don't download it. They
this is not the new platform. The new platform is still being worked on.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah,
This
Okay.
is step 1 in the process.
Okay.
There's no real
Makes sense.
cost of this, is there?
Yes,
Oh, it's
$2,800, I think.
Yeah, it's a
A one-time?
$2,800 one-time fee, and it's $3,000 annually to have them hosted.
so the ongoing cost is $3,000 a year?
Ongoing cost is $3,000.
Okay. All right, then we'll need a roll call.
Helms,
Yes.
Eagleson,
Yes.
Lucky,
Yes.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Samhoff,
Yes.
Witt.
Yep.
Ridley.
Yes. Next is a memo of understanding with the Morrison Education Association.
First motion is Board of Education approves a memo of understanding with the Morrison Education Association for the addition of 5th grade band to the extracurricular duty schedule.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Uniform request.
Second motion is, we've got the other one too.
Oh, the,
I took off of yours, sorry. We got the, so, motion is Board of Education approves the memo of understanding with the Morrison Education Association for the increased service time for Mr. Jamie Rodriguez due to an administrative transfer.
okay, you've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now, yeah, that wasn't on my,
Motion is the Board of Education approves the purchase of 30 wrestling singlets for the cost of $3,179.70.
So moved.
we'll need a roll call.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Samhoff,
Yes.
Witt.
Yep.
Helms,
Yes.
Stevenson,
Yes.
Lucky,
Yes.
Ridley.
Yes. FMLA leave,
Motion is the Board of Education approves the FMLA leave for employee number NS 7730 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
All right, First
Retirement request,
First one, the motion is the Board of Education approves the retirement request of Diane Downs as a certified science teacher at Morrison Junior High effective June 1, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
all in favor? Well, no, roll call, sorry.
Witt,
Yep.
Helms,
Yes.
Stevenson,
Yes.
Lucky,
Yes.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Samhoff,
Yes.
Ridley.
Yes. And
Motion is the Board of Education approves the retirement request of Tracy Henson as a certified physical education teacher at Southside Elementary effective June 1, 2025.
So moved. Second.
roll call,
Helms,
Yes.
Stevenson,
Yes.
Lucky,
Yes.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Samhoff,
Yes.
Witt.
Yep.
Ridley.
yes.
I don't think anybody wants to go back in closed session, so that won't be needed. So we just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn the meeting,
So
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye. Thank you very much.
Oh.